don't fight your body clock. Now, how many of you out here are early risers? 1, 2. You're like, maybe.
I know I'm more productive in the morning, but I hate waking up.
Okay, so you're in that weird spot about like, I'm going to fight my body clock to make sure that I get up early because that's what I'm supposed to do? Okay. Well, no, but I mean, how many of you read any articles out there say, you know what, night owls, they're awesome. You can get so much more done when you stay up late. You rarely see those, right? You always see, I mean, sorry, Laura, the most successful things people do before breakfast. I mean, great. I mean, maybe you have, but it could be after dinner, right? Like, so the idea of fighting your body clock to say, hey, I want to be more productive, I want to manage my time. I mean, especially on the, like where we are right now on the West Coast, we're already 3 hours behind the East Coast, right? So if they're up at 5, 6, shouldn't we be up at 3, right?
Wow.
Well, exactly. And this is why time management is more about you and your energy and less about the clock, right?
Yes.
Because the world is much smaller now in terms of how we can communicate. I mean, look, we're broadcasting to like everybody right now, right? Well, everybody that's on here. But we can reach very, very far. Mm-hmm. But it's not, you know, currently 9:30 everywhere else. And that's the thing, right? If you focus on, you know, I need to get up early to be more productive, to get better use of my time, then you probably taking your energy and allocating it to a place that isn't going to be beneficial for you right off the top. Especially when you've had something happen to you that is less than desirable, or you have kids. When you have kids, true story, when you have kids, they like to get up at night when you're sleeping. And they don't care what time it is. Kids are great. If you want to know how to manage tasks over time, hang out with a 3-year-old. Because 3-year-olds cannot tell time. They like clocks. They like the sounds they make. They look pretty. They learn numbers off clocks, right? But if you try to get a kid ready for school in the morning, they're like watching TV or they're eating breakfast. They're like, I got to finish this thing first. When they get to school, once they start to go through the schooling system, like all of a sudden the bell rings. Time to go to the next class. Recess, bing, bing. Then time starts to become more of a factor, right? We start to understand that a bit more. That concept starts to make sense to us. But when outside of that, they're all about task. A friend of mine, and this is definitely related to the body clock, because kids, again, their body clock is very different than ours because it's really not attuned to anything other than what they want to do. A friend of mine in Victoria, we were talking, we were having a lunch, and he said, you know, one thing that he does with his wife, who works a lot of hours, and she's traveling a lot, and he said, you know, when you get home, why don't you sit down with one of our kids for 5 minutes. Now, you know how long 5 minutes are, but your kid, like our kid doesn't. All he knows is that for that period of time, you're giving them 100% focus. And that's what they want, right? That's what your tasks want. That's what your items on your list, that's what your ideas want. They want 100% of your focus, because then you're going to be giving them the quality that they deserve, right? Whereas if you say to a kid, yeah, I've only got 5 minutes, and you're like half doing other things, mom, they just want that. So, I mean, for those of you who don't have kids, think of your tasks as your kids. Maybe that'll help, I don't know.